Hello everybody, today we are going to be making some absolutely beautiful body wash. So here is my daughter's one, she's almost finished it, so let's get going. I'll show you the process. Now my body wash may be a little bit different to a lot that you've seen on the market, but what I actually do with mine is I just put it all in one pot. I have done it two different ways. I've done it where, you put a certain ingredients in one, you warm that up and warm the other and combine them. I found this way to work out the best for me. So literally we're going to put all the ingredients just in this one container here, and this is going to make it super easy. Then we're literally going to put it in a double boil. So simple as that, isn't it? So let's get going with the first one. We're using distilled water and we're going to be adding in 335 grams. Always work in grams. Grams is just, much more easier, and it's very precise. So I will make sure I'm putting the right amount in here. What did we say? And now look, if you go a couple grams over, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. So usually I go a couple over on the water, because that way, we're going to put it on double boil, so it may lose a little bit of water. But it's not like lotions where you need to keep adding up the water and adding extra in. I don't even do that. I just keep it as simple as I can. So like I said, we've got 335 in our distilled water. And now let's go and put some aloe vera in. So I use this aloe vera juice. You can get it from just Woolworths or your local shopping centre if you're overseas. We'll just tear out that scale, and we're going to add in 200 grams of this. Now, if you don't want to add this in and you just want to leave it plainer to save money, then this 200 grams that we're adding in for this, you could just use water instead. There we go, perfect. So now we've got that in, and now the next thing we're going to add in is some glycerin. So I actually got my glycerin from New Directions, but you can get it from plenty of places. I think Craft 360 sell it, Soap Supplies, many suppliers sell it if you're in Australia. Go, and if you're overseas, Brambleberry and all of those others that they're going to have it for you as well. So now it is 125 grams in here, so let's add it in. We are almost there. A little bit more. Yeah, that's it. And as I do it, I will just pop these things away. Just going to turn my heater off in the background because it does get warm in here. Now, one of my star ingredients I use is this product here, which I just keep in here. This is actually B3 niacinamide, I think is how you pronounce it, powder. So I got this from Aussie Soap Supplies. It really does add, a beautiful finish to it. It's really good for the skin, this as well. So, we're not just trying to make a bubble wash here. We're trying to make something that is really nice on the skin. So, and I'm going to add 5 grams in this. So, and yes, I'm giving you the recipe. The percentages are over on Patreon. But, we're doing 1,000 grams, so I'm sure you can figure out what the percentages are anyway, because you don't need to break much down, do you? And, I've got to be fair to them, because people that supporting me on Patreon, honestly, that actually helps me so much, because it does cost money to make all of these products. So now we've got the 5 grams in there, and what I'm going to do now is just give that one a little mix. And it's water soluble as well, so everything we're adding in here is water soluble. We're not adding any oils in here, and you're not going to get many bubbles, but just give it a really light mix, not too much. And now I'm going to put this one away. Now inside here, this is my little grinder. I actually have SCI chips in here. Now you can buy the SCI powder. When I got this, I actually couldn't get the powder, so I bought the chips and ground it down. But, you know, I definitely suggest, if you can, you know, go and buy the powder. Much, much easier, my friend. So I'm going to grind this down. I won't let you listen to that, and then I'm going to bring you back. Now, one thing to remember with SCI is it can get into your lungs. And if I lift this for a second, can you see the powder coming out of that? So I'm not going to do that yet. We're going to let it rest, otherwise I will be choking. Now, once you're ready with this, we are going to put that in there very slowly. Don't dump it in fast. Just be really slow and wear a mask. So I'm going to go and get my mask, and then we're going to pop it in. Right, now that we have popped that in and it's sitting at the bottom so that we're not going to cough, what we're going to do now is add the cocoa betaine. So cocoa betaine is its small word. This is its long word, in case you don't know what it is. And you can get this from most suppliers. It's fairly cheap. I think for the 5 kilos, it cost me about $47. So to me, that's not too much money. Now, I've played around a lot with this formulation, changing things quite a lot. So my SCI amount that I put in mine is much lower than a lot of other ones that I have seen around. So mine is under 5%. It's actually 4.5%. And, you know, the more you put in of cocoa betaine and the SCI, the more cleansing it's going to be. So we want to try and make sure it's not too cleansing. So that's my idea of trying to cut down that a little bit. So anyway, we have done that, haven't we? We did put 45 grams of the SCI in here, just in case I forgot to say that. And now we're going to add 290 grams of the cocoa betaine. So let's just add that in. And I know that I have just enough because I had to measure it out yesterday to double check. I was worried I would not have enough. But anyway, I do. So there you go. That is in there. And now I have to go and get another 10 litres of that cocoa betaine, because I put my bath washes out not long ago. I made them 3 days ago, put them out, and they're almost all sold out already. So dozens of them have gone. So they are really good sellers. If you make things and you have a bit of a brand behind you, they do really, really well. And people love something fun, bubbly, and colourful. So anyway, but we've added that in, haven't we? And now what we're going to do is, so you can also add in extracts. So if you want to add in green tea extract or anything like that, what you can actually do is you can take out a portion of your water and add the green tea extract in. Just make sure it's water soluble. So that's what I do on most of my recipes and so on. But for today, we're just going to change things up just a tiny bit. And now, also, you know, at the end, so this is going to go on the stove like this. Now, at the end, we are going to add preservatives and things like that in. I'm going to also be adding in a colour into mine. Now, you can wait until later, and sometimes it's better to wait till later because we want to actually see, if you can see these bits here, we want to see that they're breaking down on the double boil. So that's why I don't really want to add too much else in at the moment. We just want to put it on the double boil. And it's going to take a couple hours. It will take anything from 1.5 to 4 hours, depending, you know, on your stove and how high you have it. Now, I just keep mine on low, so I don't keep it on medium or high because you don't want to get this glass too hot. But mine's on the, you know, not the lowest, but quite a low thing. So anyway, we're going to go over now, and we're going to be putting this over on, like I said, the double boil. And now the thing that actually helps this give it that beautiful texture and that silky gel is the glycerin that we've added in. So if you add more glycerin, it's going to get thicker. But I would not be adding more glycerin after it's already been on the stove. You want to make sure that your formulation is good like it is here. And I know this looks just like water, but I promise you it is going to look beautiful when it's done. And then we're going to add a color and a bit of a fragrance a bit after. I'm not going to add that in yet. I will bring you back when we're going to do that. So anyway, like I said, let's put it on the boil. So here I am, everyone. We are actually just at my stove. Now, if you can see the pot that I've put it in, or the big frying pan, it is quite deep. So you want something a little bit deep. And now if we just have a look at the flame, that is the flame that I have. So it is on really, really low, and we're just going to leave this. And if you can see here on my stove, that's the low that I have it on. So anyway, that will give you a bit of an idea, won't it? So let's just leave this. We will come and stir it, you know, once every half an hour, but otherwise you can just leave it here and just go and watch some telly. I thought I would show all of you the process. So now, can you see in here, there's still little bits floating around. So obviously this is not ready, but this has been about 40 minutes. I can definitely feel, just moving it with the spoon, it is feeling a little thicker, and it definitely will get thicker, especially with the fragrance going in. But anyway, that's how it is. And you know, as you go along with this water sitting here, if it starts to go down, you need to top the water up. And I'm sorry, but steam is going onto the lens, so that's why it's not perfect. And you can see on the side, if you use a clear container, these bits. Now, you don't want any of these, because when your product, so once the gel, you know, solidifies and everything's beautiful and it's sitting in the jar, if you have any of these little dots, you'll actually just see white dots floating in the middle of transparent gel. So you have to make sure you really, you know, keep this on the stove for a long time. Anyway, we have done this bit. I'm going to bring you back when it's looking a bit better. All right, it is looking beautiful. You can see there is only 1 or 2 little dots, which is okay. I'm still going to keep it on. We're not going to take it off yet, but we are going to be putting in the color. Now, with this particular color, I actually use a water-soluble dye, and this is literally all I'm going to do is add that tiny bit in, which I dropped in. Now, can you actually see, if you can kind of see the color? And this is purple. I used to get these from a company called Sud Off. Sadly, they're out of business now, but these ones come from the UK, but you can get any other ones. And I'm sorry, I fogged up everything again, but you can kind of see, can't you? You can see the color. Now we're just going to leave this on for another 20 minutes, and then I think it will be ready, and we will take it off and go on to the next step. All right, everyone, I have taken it off the stove, and if you can see here, you can definitely see my spoon through it. And a lot of the darker colors, they take a few days to become transparent. So anyway, I've taken it off the stove, and I always put my fragrance straight in. I don't wait for it to cool down or anything like that. Of course, if you've got a preservative that is sensitive to heat, then you may want to do that. But let's just pour that one in. And we'll give this one a little stir. And each fragrance oil is going to make it thinner or thicker. So this is a lavender, and you know, lavender's a bit notorious for making things a little bit thinner. So this one's not going to be as thick as the other one, that's for sure. But you know, usually when it starts to cool down a bit, it will get a bit you know, thicker. So anyway, we are going to leave this one. I'm just going to leave it sitting here just for a little bit. But you can see there's no dots in it. But sometimes, you know, when it clears, then you see them and you think, oh no. But anyway, for now, it is looking beautiful, isn't it? So I'm going to leave it, like I said. And then we're going to bring you back a little bit after. I'm going to let it cool down a little bit before I put my preservative. I'm using Liquid Germal Plus, and Liquid Germal Plus has to be used between certain pHs. So you need to make sure your pH is good. I've already just checked my pH. Whether you're using a pH strip or a proper meter, a meter is definitely better. I don't like to show me doing those because I don't think I explain them as well as other people, such as Tara. So if you go over to Tara's YouTube, she explains really, really well how to use a pH meter. So anyway, that's something that you can do. But like I said, we're just going to let this cool down a tiny bit before I put it in the preservative. and we will go from there. All right, everyone, it is looking beautiful. It is starting to very slowly thicken up. You know, we just need to give it a bit of love, and it will just take a little bit of time. So do remember, as I said, each fragrance oil is going to be a tiny bit different. Now we're going to add the preservative into this one, and let me just double check to make sure. So I'm going to add 5 grams, and I am actually using Liquid Germal Plus. So you can use it at this one here, you can use it like 0.5% upwards. So we're just going to go for that because I feel like that is more than enough preservative. There we go, and all beautiful. And of course we want to mix it in. And sometimes even the preservative can actually, you know, make this kind of seem a bit thicker. And like I said, if it's looking like cloudy or something, don't worry. It's going to, you know, it will go transparent in time. If you used micas or something, honestly, they'll just sink to the bottom. And of course, they're not going to be transparent. So I definitely don't suggest that. I tried that. I really did. I got very excited about trying the micas, and it ended in disaster. It separated and everything else. So definitely don't suggest that, my friends. And once it's cool enough, I wait till this is cool. Like I can still feel it's warm to touch. So I'm just going to wait until this is cool. And you can see how it will start to get its transparency kind of look. And anyway, it's going to be beautiful, isn't it? So I'm going to let this cool down. Then I'll bring you back and we will bottle these up. All right, everyone, my jars are sanitized. It is time to pour. So let's go. I'm going to move some things out the way. And anyway, let's pour these up. I hope you love it. Doesn't it look beautiful? I think it is going to, you know, go more clear as time goes on, because it does look like a bit of a two-toned look at the moment, but that is just because it is doing its thing, and it will definitely go clear. But doesn't it look beautiful? And can you see how it's like sort of reddy and then purpley? That's just because it's going through its little process, but it will definitely do what we want it to do. So anyway, on to the next one. Let's pop the next one in. I will scrape out the container, but I hope you have enjoyed today, my friends. We are done. These beautiful darlings are done. Let's go, and I'll put the lids on, and everything's done. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I will put it in the recipe into Patreon for you, and then off we go. But you know, I've given the recipe as we've gone along as well, and it will be in the description. See you next time.